Okay then, let's see if we can remember whereabouts we got to last time. I believe I've just set up the mining ship, which I had a moment ago. Yeah, there it is. Now that should allow us to collect plenty of metals, and I believe this one is also set up to generate electronics and advanced components, so we hopefully shouldn't have too many issues with them. These bombs are rather obsolete. Let's just upgrade them a bit. Where did I leave the... No, it's not it. It's probably this one. Yes, that's it. The homeworld. Retrofit here. Repair vessel. Dreadnought. Yes, they're all. Well, I think we might work on some more oh dear, some more blueprints though, just for the time being. So, point defense cruiser. What engines have we got? Iron thruster. It'll be a bit slower. I should probably point out that one thing I do is I run a heavily modded game, and the version of the modification that I'm using hasn't been updated in years, but I've further modified the modification, so this is in no way balanced. I've added several components myself, although they're sort of mid to late game, and I've also basically given myself a stupid amount of space on the ship. $36 AU, I think. That should be enough. I don't think we've integrated. No, we didn't have the integrated control center yet. Now, the subsystem here is an auxiliary power, which basically provides enough backup power that my computer core won't need outside. Basically, when I lose the main reactor, I won't have to worry about the computer core dying and losing the entire ship. I'll probably lose the entire ship anyway, but no matter. The maximum point defense efficiency you can have is 0.8. So that now gives us 0.8. But we'll add a few more so that we actually get more in the way of shots. Because the more firepower you have, the more chance you have shooting down incoming missiles. A few electronic countermeasures, just to make us a bit harder to hit. About 20% chance harder. Regular plate armour is sort of rather generic, but it serves well enough for this. shield hardener and other such components can only assist certain components, in this case the shield, but they will technically connect into any component, even ones that aren't of any use, so it's essentially just waste to do so. But I've increased the shield absorption, which basically means that less things will go through the shield until it collapses. Point defense cruiser, I think we'll get also get some interceptor missiles. Just to help take care of any fighters that might be floating around. Probably add an actual power source. Now the fusion generator, if it's destroyed, and subsystems can be destroyed, then it'll explode and take your entire ship with it. The safeguards one is slightly more expensive, but it doesn't. It's very durable and doesn't explode if it's destroyed. So, alright, your ship will be fairly crippled, but it's not going to be game over immediately. Now, this is very slow, so we need to add a bit more in the way of thrust. Still quite slow, but 0.001 AU per second. Let's check the detailed statistics. 3 minutes 4 seconds of continuous firing time on the ammunition. So we'll bump that up a bit. 3 minutes 45 seconds. 4 minutes 26 seconds. We shouldn't have any engagements which last anywhere near that long, I hope. Hopefully we're going to deal with stuff long before that, or we'll be destroyed. Now, we've only got 6 minutes of flight time because we don't have enough fuel for these engines, which use a lot of fuel, plus the fusion generator. So I have to increase the size of the fuel cells. That's 40 minutes, great. 18 minutes, that's not terrible. The fusion generator uses quite a lot of fuel. When we get antimatter generators and 0-point generators later, that won't really be an issue, because they use next to no power. We're using, where is it, 5.94, and it's not really practical to add that on because it only adds, well, a maximum of 1. So it's not worth putting it on a ship this small, not with such high energy expenditure. And I think we'll add a couple of plasma beams in case it gets into close quarters combat. So let's bump that up again. And that also means that if we run out of ammunition, we've still got a little bit of offensive firepower. Things a bit more. I will... Should I? No, I won't throw an analyzer on this one. Analyzers you can use to basically scan enemy ships, find out what components they have, and be able to build them as it says there. But we'll leave that for now. Let's see what we've got in the way of improvements for the fighter. We'll give our fighters some improved anti-fighter capability. I shall make a new variant actually. What to call it? Space Supremacy Fighter. And chain gun. This has 12,000, well 13,000 hit points, and each one of these does 1,000 hit points of damage. So, 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I can do 65,000 damage. And it's fairly fast, 0.063 AU per second. I won't add lasers or anything like that to it because they use a lot of and I don't fancy adding a more expensive generator to this ship. Shields, you can't put them on without adding ports under. Defense without adding a shield emitter. But for that, your shield would only give you 1.61 hit points. Mikoto, thank you for the follow. How are you? Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I got in from work. There's no one else in the house at the moment, so I thought I'd stream for a bit. Yeah. This is a very old game by this point. I don't know when it came out, early 2000s, I think. Maybe mid 2000s. The studio did a follow-up game, but it's nowhere near as good. But yeah. Okay, that's the Space Superiority Fighter. Satellites. Use firepower a little bit. I'm not too bothered about its continuous firing time because these will only be deployed in planetary orbit where they can theoretically resupply from the planet, if I remember correctly. set up. How's that? Alright, I turned it down a bit because otherwise various background noise tends to filter through a bit. How's the game audio? I'll put that up to maximum as well. I can probably increase it a bit more in the game, but all of my mixer settings are now maxed out, so let's see about some slightly better defended defence satellites. It's not really worth it, is it? I will give it long range missiles though. Just that little bit of extra punch. Guard platform, which is basically a much larger, heavier version of the defence satellites. I think I've already modified this because I added a Gatling turret to it. Size. Point defence. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for that, Akoda. Have a good day at work. And actual shield. My shield tech is still rather low at the moment, so I'm not getting much in the way of shielding, but it might take a couple of shots. I'll add a hardener to it. computer core. Ah, I know I did that now. Gatling turret, missile rack. Yeah, the missile platform isn't very powerful. I should probably build a new carrier at some point and vastly upgrade the military outposts, but we'll see how that goes. Dreadnoughts, I should probably do something with the dreadnoughts as well, but I'll wait until I've got some more technology first. What I will do though is colony ship, because these are exceedingly slow, so we'll bump up the ramjets a bit. They don't need auxiliary power anywhere near that powerful. Give it a jump drive. There, 50 AU jump drive. Doing that. No, still cheaper than putting a fusion generator in. Okay. It's not worth it. Additional ramjet. Okay, so for slightly extra cost, that means that I can get rid of that quite a bit, actually, so we don't need that much extra support. Cicada, how are you? Thank you very much for the follow. Yes, I'm still working on dealing with the volume issues at the moment. Let me try that. Is that any better? Because it all sounds the same volume to me. Let me see. How's that? Okay. Right, we'll let's see, we will yeah, that's the updated one of them. and now it didn't really expand out very much. So yeah, that's going to be a nice economic world. So it's not got much in the way of ore though. Ah, 42 slots, but it is volcanic. That can be a research world. That can be a research world, even though it's expensive to build on. That can be a mining world for the time being. Well, no, it can be an economic world. Hello, Icy. And Slendy. Yes, I am streaming. How are you doing today? That will be another research world. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Not long got in from work. Got rained on again. Came in. Thought I might as well see about streaming for a bit. So, here we are. Treaty request? Probably deny it. Ooh. No, I don't think I can. No. The, right. Egg! Thank you very much for the follow. Slendy, thank you. Ah, yes, that's going to be a research world. Yes, this is a rather old game now, called Star Ruler. Came out early to mid 2000s, I think. I came across it years ago. I'm doing quite well, Egg. Just got in from work. Yeah, that's about it. Dried off nicely because it was raining most of the day. But I've got some new waterproofs, so they worked fairly well. Let's see now. Homeworld. Yes, this is my homeworld over here. So let's see about building another couple of colony ships. Another 4, I think. Right, and then check research. Yes, I've unlocked everything. I've ticked it to automate, which basically will just go around and do the thing. Okay, it's nice speaking to you. I'll see you around. Pause the game. It tends to build quite quickly while we've still got stuff in the stockpiles, but as soon as these stockpiles go, it'll build much slower. Let's see where it is. Ah, there it is. there's the colony ship. So I think we shall have it jump to... Ah. Oh no. Yes. So why do I not have a jump option? Ah, welcome back, Cicada. System? Why is it not? Try. Hmm. It's within jump range. Why can I not jump there then? Right, I'll worry about that one later. Europa 7, Europa 7. This is what irritates me. It'll assign multiple ships, and it'll assign multiple ships to basically go and colonize the same planet, which is irritating. So I'll send them off to this other system. And very slowly they can turn around. Ah, we've unlocked polarizing flux weapon. That's good. The polarizing flux weapon, if I remember correctly, allows you to take down shields very quickly. Yes. It's basically an anti-shield weapon, but it doesn't damage anything once the shield's down. So it's vaguely useful depending on situations. Another treaty request. 100,000 metal in exchange for... yes, I will accept that. Because I get a boost to my research rate for the next 6 minutes, something like that, and a load of components in exchange for 100,000 metal, which is nothing. That's like 2 defense satellites, maybe 3. Oh, plasma thrower. That's good as well. I might take this opportunity to upgrade the cruiser. It's a Pity we haven't got more powerful engines unlocked yet. Let's see, can I? Ryan drive. It's going to be a bit yet. We'll get some more computers first. But I'll start. Let's see, where's the... What would it be under? Ship construction? General sciences is always good to research because that gives you a boost to your research rate. Energy weapons. Plasma thrower. Do that. So we'll go with a energy rich. Oops. Side. Now I'm actually going to need a power plant, so now this is going to produce a lot of heat, 7.9 a second, and we can only take 150 heat. Heat works, basically heat is generated in things like engines and weapons, and you dispose of the heat by dumping it into your reactor, despite the fact that your reactor will also be generating lots of heat. But you can also add a heatsink. This allows you, this basically does what it says on the tin. It allows you to dispose of more waste heat every second. And also store more of it. Ideally, if you want to be able to fire continuously, you need to make sure that your waste heat per second is always negative, because otherwise you'll build up heat faster than you can discharge it. I mean, if it's very, very low heat build up, then it doesn't really matter. Because if it takes like 11 minutes of constant firing, you're never going to see 11 minutes of constant firing. But I think we'll build a control C extra heat. We'll produce a ship capable basically with energy armament, so we'll use a couple of polarizing flux weapons to take out any shields. Boost up some plasma throwers. And a couple of plasma beams, I think, will measure. More control needed. With very heavy energy armaments, you tend to need quite a lot in the way of heat sinks, so it's not too bad there. 0.001 AU per second and a 15-minute flight time. We'll bump that up to 20 minutes with one ion thruster. Now we don't actually need the high density ammo storage anymore, so because we're now energy armament only, we don't really need that anymore, and we best get rid of it because they have a habit of blowing up with quite a lot of force. Yeah, so that there. Now that means the bulkhead basically reinforces an individual subsystem. Oops. Treating request waiting. Oh, several. No, don't really need. Oh, I could do with some food, but not enough to send metals like that. No. I'm already at war with 2 of these, but my military, I'm currently rated number 2 in the galaxy for everything. So we'll soon see. Now my colony worlds must have been founded, I hope, because our research rate is going up, and that means that they're probably building. Yes, they're being colonized now. Oh, they're building a shipyard world. Excellent. Didn't think I'd asked for a shipyard world, but oh well. Research world, that's various scientific labs, and yeah, that'll provide a lot of research. And it's always best to build them on ones that have interesting phenomena or remnant relics because it increases your research efficiency and will allow him to terraform as well when we unlock that technology, which hopefully should be fairly soon. Now we don't need that many cities, so we can get rid of them and we can build a few more labs. Hello. Why will they not allow me to build it? Interesting. It's probably just a bug. It may start working at some point. Pulse shield charger. That charges it very quickly but makes the shields less solid. Dusk! Thank you very much for the follow. How are you today? Yes, this is technically the first official stream. I did a small test stream a couple of weeks back, but this is the first opportunity I've had to do an actual one. Yeah, I thought I might go for another hour and a half, something like that. Then I'll go and find some dinner, I think. Energy cruiser, there we are. Ah, integrated command center. That's what I want. Now, the integrated command center is much better than the computer core, really. It produces a lot more control for the size of it. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. Back. Now that's a 1.0 computer core, and that produces 655 extra control. Hopefully I'm right in this. Now, for the same size command center, it's almost 5,000 extra control, which means much smaller command centers. And because it has crew, it also allows us a small amount of regeneration as the crew perform repairs on the ship. Get rid of those thrusters. And I think... oh, an MPD thruster. Excellent. There, one of them should do for now. Power may be unstable. Don't really need a black turret. The jump drive. I want a jump drive. 48. Yes, that'll do, I think. I'll make that 0.75 because I'll have a lot of... no, I'll make it 1. I've got a lot of weapons to put on. I best pause as well, because otherwise things tend to happen in the background and I get distracted and things go horribly wrong. No, I'm good for fuel. I don't need that. Now let's see. Power. Oh, antimatter generators. Excellent. Now, these basically use no fuel whatsoever. Or at least the fuel usage is so low as to be effectively 0. In this, I think it is actually set to 0. I don't know if that's something I did or if that's actually the game, or the mod that I'm using, because this is technically a mod that I made. Well, it's a modification of another mod. I just broke the balance horribly. So I'll bring that. You have to walk it across, because if you separate them, then things go wrong. But ideally, you need to have the auxiliary power on your antimatter generators, because if antimatter generators ever lose power for whatever reason, they'll explode badly and take your entire dreadnought with it. That tends to be quite a bad thing, so always make sure that you have auxiliary power available so that they don't. Now let's see. Armor. This is Dreadnought. Now, I'll add a little bit of point defense, just in case someone fires at us with Route 80. I'll add a bit of point defense in case someone opens up on us with missiles and some ECM as well. Fairly comprehensive suite. Will give me a 30% chance of missing us. Don't need that. Which will give it a huge laser. We can actually add it as a spinal laser later, but yeah, we won't use that. We won't make it a spinal laser at the minute because we don't have the technology. see, oversized mount. Make it even bigger, 120,000, but it's only fires once every 15 seconds, with a maximum range of 696. So if anyone gets hit by this, they're certainly going to know that they've been nudged. And we will also give it a heavy hull, which is heavier and more expensive, but also much stronger and better protects the subsystems. So now let's see, ballistic weapons. A couple of muon cannons, I think. Just for fun. Can't add any of them. Phase missile rack. Didicus, how are you today? Yes, I started streaming just under an hour ago. Got in from work, decided to stream. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Got rained on at work today quite a bit. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, give it some interceptors just in case someone decides to attack something with 1.1 million hit points with some fighters. Oh, and a shield. You can't forget the shield. Must have a shield. A huge whacking great shield with shield hardener attached to it. Oh, thank you very much for the host. It really helps, and I really appreciate it as well. And then if I give a pulsed shield charger, it now regenerates very quickly as well. I think that, oh, I'm going to need to add another thruster, aren't I? Because that's getting very slow. But that does mean I'll need to bump up the generator a tad. Now, this is a large enough ship that I can install a repair bay on it to give it a little bit of regeneration. I mean, it's absolutely minuscule. 1.3 thousand, and it's 1.16 million. So, what's that? 0.1% per second regeneration. So, but it helps. I shall add a Bussard ram scoop because that means that this will theoretically never run out of power and even slowly refill itself. A bit more armor. Okay, so that's the Dreadnought upgraded. I suppose I should do something with the capital ship as well, but I'll do that in a little bit. The mining ship I think is working alright. I will upgrade said mining ship with better thrusters so that it's a lot faster, or at least uses a lot less power. Place that those. There's a bug in this in which the where it actually clicks is not where my cursor is, it's a little bit above it, which is rather irritating, but I don't appear to be able to fix it. So yeah. Let's see. We produce far more. Yeah, we're producing far more ore than we're using. So let's bump up the metal refinery thing. Now we're generating 9 them. Advanced parts. Export dot metal. Side rum scoop. I could probably think of that right down. Save a bit of space. Electronics 2.37. So yes, they should be fine. We are producing more metals than we can export though. See, 12. Yes, that should be enough. Something like that anyway. So there we go. Now that should be a slight improvement. The problem is when you upgrade the technology, it tends to throw the balance of your design out slightly, because yeah, it's has one or two small issues, shall we say. Dreadnoughts, let's retrofit them and start the game again. I shall replace that with an MPD thruster because that gives us slightly more thing, and I'll replace that with. Basically, I'm already upgrading the design I made not too long ago. Pause it again while I work on that. Power, antimatter, subsystem, power. There we are. So that now has much extended range, so much so that we can probably do that. And we do need to equip it with a jump drive really though, as everything else is now being equipped with jump drives. We tend to go with size 3. Bump up the control a bit, and that still gives us enough power for everything, and it still does 0.001 AU per second. so that's good. And then we shall modify that into a regular cruiser. Bit of probably as well. Let's see what sort of armor can we have on a regular cruiser? Large missile ranks. I think a regular cruiser I think will be mostly ballistic, but lots of it. Is it now worth putting shields on it? Now I can fire 44 seconds at the moment, so I'm going to need to add a heatsink back in. Even a small one will do. So much so that I can probably bump them back up. Now, technically it can't fire forever, but 6 minutes 15 seconds, that should give it enough to deal with most things. But it only has 1 minute 49 seconds of physical ammo, because I don't think... Yes, I think I removed the actual ammo storage. Now, I've got two options here. The ammo cache, which doesn't explode and holds 869, or the high density, which explodes a lot but holds twice the amount. It's also a lot more fragile. So let's see, 2.26, so it's 9.04. Now, let's see now, 3 minutes 55. Oops. I think we'll just add a couple of them in there. Maybe a point defense or two. Heavy hull for this one as well. Like heavy hulls, they use more resources to build, but they're a lot tougher. They're also a lot heavier, so we'll need another engine. Now this is going to be a lot faster than the other ships. Put that back up. 33 minutes of flight time. It's not as heavy hitting as the other one, but it'll do. Ooh, twin plasma blasters. They're going to be good. I'll redesign my space superiority fighter now. Get rid of them. Engines. PD thruster. Now, I am going to have to swap out the generator now. Alright, it's very expensive in comparison. It also has a minimum size of 1. But that's not an issue. That will give us plenty of power, I hope. Now let's see. Fighter and bomber weapons. Now, the twin plasma blasters. They're basically very rapid fire weapons. And I think I'll give it some anti-shield weapons as well, in case anyone decides to put some shields on their fighters. Enough to cripple those shields, I think. Now, the thing is, you can also fit regular shipboard weapons on these, but they're not really very efficient. Hang on. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. You can also fit regular shipboard weapons on a fighter, but they're not really efficient for the size. You can't fit artillery or anything like that on it, but it's not too bad. Let's see. 47-minute flight time. It's probably brought down a bit. 33 minutes, yeah. Now, technically this is small enough. Technically this is small enough that it's not really worth the cost in extra resources to fit this with auxiliary power. Let's see, what do we have? 3.16. So my shield technology has improved quite a bit. So I will now, I'll give it some ECM as well. There's now a 30% chance in addition to the basic dodge chance. So there's a basic 45% chance that any shots that would have hit will miss, which is very good indeed. And now I keep increasing that until either run out of power or something else. I might even add another PD thruster, so I have quite a bit of power left over. Which means it'll be very fast indeed, and very difficult to control. But it's now getting quite expensive for a fighter. But yes, there, that'll do. Suppose I should update the bomber design as well, but I can't be bothered at the moment. I shall do that shortly. Pair drone. Be much smaller now. That could be a bit faster. Subsystem modifiers. Defense. Bulkhead. Bulkhead. Storage. This holds 54.2 thousand, but if I throw in some more cargo bays, no, I'm limited by space. I could only throw in an extra 3.34 and it's really not worth the extra cost. But that now moves quite quickly. Now the Bussard ramjet's quite good because it doesn't actually use fuel, or at least not internal ship fuel. So yeah, that works reasonably well. But they don't output much in the way of thrust, which is why it's not advisable to use them for military ships. But they're perfectly adequate for civilian stuff, particle cannons. The problem is every time I design something, a newer um, weapon comes along and I want to redesign things. But I'll hold off now. Now you see, what I like about this game is to decelerate, the ship actually turns around and thrusts in the opposite direction to the direction it's travelling in. Another two mining ships, I think, increase our resource production because we're running low a bit. Almost, I will have dock at the planet. They're not much use. They're mostly for just for planetary defense or system defense, and quite frankly, they're quite outdated now anyway. Oh, excellent. The Europa system is under attack. Well, it's not excellent, but you know what I mean. This will serve to be an interesting demonstration. Ah, one pirate bandit. Oh well, we shall send for one pirate bandit. We shall send. Oh, I don't know. What do we got? One dreadnought. Yeah, that cruiser. The cruisers don't have hyperdrives yet. Oh no, they've got a pirate pillager as well. It's all right. I shall send. Jump to object. That's the option that was missing earlier from my colony ships, and I don't know why. But we shall focus on this and watch it jump. There we go. Oh, there's another pirate vessel there. Several pirate vessels. I think we've got it there. And if not, we'll just summon some reinforcements. I might actually have these produce a few guard platforms though. Just be on the safe side. Five. Five platforms. And 10 defense satellites. Something like that. With this game, or slight problem, is that it will not predict, it won't calculate an intercept, it will just head in a straight line. So rather than working out that this guy's heading that way, and therefore he needed to head in this direction, he just went straight for him. But he'll now chase him down, and I suspect that our guy is a lot faster. I wish it would allow you to see weapons ranges, but he should take out that pirate bandit. Come on. Oh no. Oh well. I'm not a big fan of Star Ruler 2, to be honest. I had another go at playing it a couple of weeks ago off stream, and yeah, I just couldn't get into it. They changed a lot of things, and it just wasn't Excellent. I'm now at war with 3 out of the 4 nations. I have a food supply issue. That's not good. The atmosphere. West Plains. Atmosphere. Natural catalyst. Well, looks like this is getting turned into a farm world. Or what have I got in the other system? Nothing in that one. Oops. Excellent. You're getting turned into a farm world. I'll have plenty of space after that. Oh, and there's a shipyard world next to you. Excellent. Colony ship, please. No, you can use it on this one. Press cargo storage. Nice, but don't need that at the moment. Oh. I think I did. Ah, the Orion Drive. Excellent. The next thing I design will have an Orion Drive on it. Now, if anyone's joined since I last mentioned, I'm playing with the Galactic Armory mod, but I have further modified the mod to add in several mid to late game components, and one of them is the infamous Orion Drive, which certainly works, especially on larger vessels. Excellent, and now we're gaining food again. That's a relief. Oh, that's been handily defeated. Now, despite all the times I've played this game over the years, I haven't actually played it in many years, but I've never actually blown up a star that I can remember, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I think I've destroyed a planet once, but I've never actually blown up a star, I don't think. Right, I'm going to take a quick break. I shall be back in 5 minutes, I think. See you in 5 minutes. And I'm back. I've had a drink and Cadbury's cream egg. So, Pinback, thank you very much for the follow. Oh. That's obsolete. Simple variant. There, we'll have it. Park up there. Even updated car platforms are better than nothing. What I'd really like is an option to update items in the build queue to the latest version. If you get a new version of the blueprint while it's being built. Right then. What shall I do now? Oh, planetary particle cannon. Good. I think I shall send my mining ships. No, I'll let my mining ships work in this system a bit longer, I think. I will build a salvage drone though. Sort that straight out for so miscellaneous, that was it. Salvager. Very, very slowly salvage things. In fact, I shall make it twice the size to salvage things twice as fast. And in fact, make it 4 times as fast. Okay. There. And I think I'll build half a dozen energy cruisers. Oops. And 5 point defense cruisers. Cruisers, 2. Cruisers, 2. cruisers. And then I'll group them all into a fleet, I think. Form new fleet. Form a new fleet. Them. That tanker. That can go and retrofit. Cruisers can retrofit there as well. Salvage drones. Automation. Work with tool. Salvage. Lemon! Thank you very much for the follow. How's the move got? Well, I'm looking forward to the stream later, so but yeah, I saw the pictures. It looks like a really nice place. Yeah, it's nice when you find a place that you immediately feel at home in. I mean, I've never moved. I've never actually moved house. I've lived here my entire life, but yeah, I imagine it must feel really great to move in and immediately have it feel like home. Yeah, it's always well worth it when you feel that you're that it was worth the price you paid. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I decided to if I'm going to be playing games anyway, I might as well stream them a bit. Although 480p is going to be the best resolution you're going to get for the foreseeable future, because that's the best that my internet can handle. And even now, if I were to try and do anything else in the background, downloading or uploading stuff, that's it. the stream would almost certainly die instantly. So unless I get Starlink, or they basically rewire my entire town, yeah, I ain't getting any faster internet. Two. They're over there. Yeah, I know in the UK they're having a push to try and deliver super fast broadband to some rural areas, and so you've got rural areas that have super fast broadband, highly urbanized areas that have super fast broadband, and places on the edge of small to medium-sized towns have 50-year-old wiring. I mean, they did install fibre optics eventually, but it runs through, because the local council turned around and said, no, you can't put your cable through the middle of our town centre. It runs about 5 miles out of its way, going round basically round the side of the town. So it's not very good. But they reckon another 2 or 3 years, if the money lasts, they might actually be able to rewire it, and that'll get us much faster internet. Well, I'll say much faster, a bit faster. But yeah, I was somewhat annoyed actually, because just before Christmas, my internet, it was just before Christmas that I had my internet up for renewal, and I looked at how much I was paying and nearly had a heart attack, and looked at the speeds I was getting, which was dreadful. It was down to like less than 10 megabits at one point. I think one day I came in and it was at like 2.5, but that turned out to be once again a problem with the network. But yeah, I had a look and went, oh no, Starlink isn't in the UK yet. No, I guess I'll have to go with my regular broadband provider and just argue with them until they give me a good deal. Got a okay deal out of it, and just a few weeks later, Starlink announced that they were bringing their beta to the UK, and the entire Starlink beta would have only have cost me about 10 quid more a month than what I was paying originally for speeds that were about 10 times as fast. So yes, I was rather irritated by that. But I might upgrade to Starlink in when 18 months, something like that, when the contract runs out, or if I can figure a way of breaking it without having to pay an arm and a leg before then. I'm hoping that their network breaks to such an extent that I can say, look, you're not providing me with an internet connection. So yes, although I'm probably one of the only people to have had an internet provider turn around to them and say, no, it's too difficult to provide you with internet. We're going to terminate your contract and pay and basically pay you to go somewhere else and be an irritation to them. Because because they'd spent so much money trying to get an internet connection. They weren't making any money off us. Ah, possibly. Yeah. Well, I'll have to see. Because I'll need to convince my mum as well, because uh, she'll also be involved, and I've got to convince her that sticking a dish up somewhere. Okay, I'll see you later, Lemon. Bye. Uh, right. Wall formation. Box formation, I think. Any enemies relatively close? Now, what things don't have defense cruisers? Point defense cruisers. Do they not have? I guess I didn't fit them with jump drives. Oh no, they do have a jump drive. Okay, but I will change that around. Power. Oh, 0-point generators. I'll just stick with a regular antimatter generator. Something that small, I'll only put 0-point generators on the capital ships, I think. Or dreadnoughts, at least. Control. Center. Thrusters. Now I shall demonstrate what I said earlier about the acceleration and efficiency of the Orion drive for ships. That was 0.012, and that was from 3 fairly beefy thrusters. Now let's see, engines. Orion drive 0.016 from one regular 1.0 sized Orion drive with a stupidly long flight time. I'm not even sure what's using all that. But the Orion drive, that big problem is it actually uses ammunition every second to propel itself, because it's an Orion drive. You throw a nuke out the back and ride the shockwave. So that is one small issue with it. So you're going to need a lot more in the way of ammunition storage. I'll put them fuel cells right. Oh no, I won't take them too small because of the amount of fuel we need to jump. So we can still get a few jumps out of it. But I will increase the bulkhead a bit. "10 minutes of ammunition, and I shall add. Look at this. Let's see. It's going to need a basic. This boss scoop. Oh, it's not worth actually installing a busted ram scoop for that. Plasma beams. We shall go with particle cannons. And there's an ammunition resupply dock which should refill the ammunition quite handily. There. That. Energy cruiser, that's that. Regular cruiser has that. Dreadnought has jump drive. Not all of my dreadnoughts have been upgraded. Kojak, thank you very much for the follow. How are you today? Yeah, we're just playing some Star Ruler. It's an old game from the early, mid 2000s. Might even be slightly later than that. Certainly mid 2000s. Yeah, it's a really good game. Oh, treaty. The streaming's going quite well so far. Nothing appears to have horribly broken. We're just nearly 2-hour mark. Let's see. No, I don't want to share research. Yeah, the stream's going well. Nothing's horribly broken yet, and we seem to be. We've only encountered a couple of minor bugs so far as I can tell. So that can join. Oh no, I don't want to join Fleet 1. Come here. Come here. Leave Fleet. Join Fleet. Fleet 2. I don't want you to join Fleet 2 as well. Let's see. Jump to object. Yeah, I hope your day improves, Kojak, and it's a bit less meh later on. Didn't think of that. If I'm going to have a fleet tanker, it needs to have a jump drive, doesn't it? Yeah. It's irritating. No matter. Oh, shielded antimatter generators. That's good. That now means that my antimatter reactors won't blow up the moment they lose power. That's always a good thing, for the most part. Let's see. Cornish, Cornish. Everything from retrofit there. Tanker. Entrance. Okay, it's not particularly fast, but that'll do as a fleet tanker. Let's see. Merge queue. We'll build 2 fleet tankers. Control join fleet 2. Horribly obsolete dreadnoughts that are still incredibly dangerous. No matter. upgrade those thrusters again. On just about everything, actually. I think the only thing with a modern drive system here is going to be the point defense. Where are they? Yes, the point defense cruisers, which can probably take this thing out. Well, no, there's no probably about it. They can take this thing out by themselves. They're less point defense cruisers than cruisers that have a bit of point defense attached. Some bombers, extremely obsolete bombers. They haven't been updated in hours. That's hours in real time rather than hours in game. One shot from an obsolete bomber. Time for a major upgrade to my defense satellites. Now each one of those has 26.6k health. If we refit them, then they now have 190,000 health. 2.61 million. Refit that, or retrofit that, and that'll take a while. But that'll be a lot. Oh, we've unlocked the DSM. Oh. The Directed Spatial Manipulator. Minimum subsystem size 3,600. But it causes 5.21 billion damage. Has 37.2 million hit points. Damages everything in a radius of 110. Yeah, that's going to be quite a large weapon. So we shall build a Titan. Now let's see, mega structure hull, and we'll make it 1,000, I think. Let's see how that goes. Oops, special weapons. DSM. Acquired subsystem is missing. Patrol. And power. No capacitors. Now it needs 11.3 million charge. Plenty of charge in a quantum battery. So we'll build this at, I don't know, 1500 scale. Engines. It's going to have to be an Orion drive. Oh, which suddenly produces massive amounts of heat, which is only just updated. Let's see, 1 minute 42 seconds maximum firing time of the DSM. I'll just slap a small one of these in. See, Orion 0.016. Ooh. Shield hardener. Excellent. Maximum electronic countermeasures, which gives a 13% mischance. Probably not worth it. I'll just divert that into extra defences. Now, just in case we're boarded, I want some sort of defences, because I definitely don't want this thing getting into the wrong hands. Defence. Never mind. There we are. For 180 million shield hit points, regenerating at 4.5 million hit points per second. A jump drive. 537 AU. But it needs 60,000 fuel to jump. And that contains 4. We'll stick a couple of them in for just over 1 million fuel. 723 ammo per second. That stores 305,000. Power may be unstable. Is that? This is going to take a lot to build. 3.2 billion metal. So we'll leave that for now because we're not going to be able to afford that for quite a while. And keep going. Treaty request. 1.87 million. Yes, I'll agree to that. And I think I'm going to call it there for the stream today. I'm quite tired, and I haven't had dinner yet. So, I think we will find somebody to raid, since I've worked out how. Da-da. Okay, so I'll put that to the ending soon. And I think we will raid Lemon Cement. So it's been very nice talking with everyone in chat, and I'll see you on the next stream, which I'm not sure when. Possibly this weekend, maybe a bit longer. Might even try something slightly different and play a different game for a while. Okay, I'll see you around. Have a good day, everyone.
You guys should go follow Ko. He's streaming now.